Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. Hi guys, yeah, like I say, it's 4G. It's almost literally influenced by the wind, so it's going to cut out sometimes. Um, yeah, welcome back, everyone. You can see it. Yes, I can see you all there. Yeah, I've literally gone around the house and removed anything that might be using the internet. Thankfully, I'm the only one in the house at the moment, so I'm not annoying anyone. And then I came to the conclusion that it still wasn't enough where I live. The upload is, I think I've got something like 20 down, one up. It's just terrible. So I thought 4G would probably do it. And I guess I was kind of right. It works for the most part, but just occasionally conks out altogether. Right, okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on defeating these beetles. Speaking of which, Beetle Uprising, available now on Steam Early Access. A game not developed but published by us. Go and play that one. Genetic simulation, combined with some real-time tactics and home building. It's a very good game. Okay, is this where we die? It might be.
Predators are loose in the nest.
I think we'll be fine actually.
The larvae must.
We've got some level 3s now. Yeah, the beetle larvae will just kind of melt. Let's upgrade a few bits and bobs. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? Porgy, there may be it is someone trying to bring down the antenna. Someone who believes it is causing COVID-19. No, that's 5G. Off. 5G is what people believe causes COVID-19. 4G only causes COVID-18, which isn't anywhere near as bad. Can you believe that? Facebook. Anyway. Right. Yeah, I guess we're going through here. This is the next logical step. They now also believe 4G. People. What are you going to do, eh?
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
Not much. You're just going to chill out and play some ant games, is what you're going to do. You're not going to convince them otherwise. Not using workers to widen the tunnel into the cabin to allow more soldiers to fight at the same time. I do this, Hoff, when it comes time to the for the adults. The adults are way easier to deal with if you can get us around on them. But at this point, I'm fairly confident that I don't really need to bother. I've done this level so many times. Yeah, I think what we'll do is, considering the kind of instability of the 4G connection, I think once I'm done with this level, I'll end the stream. I think, and I'll probably be back in a couple of days to do another one, and we'll do subjugation at that point. All right, got enough. Just about enough to spawn some replacement ants in. get rid of that because it's annoying me. Many people can't tell the new and old antenna apart. There are also old antennae that were set ablaze. If you're setting fire to mobile telephone masts, does it really matter which kind you're setting fire to? I think up here next. Now, if I remember correctly, there isn't an adult here, because we might be in trouble if there is. I think the adult's here. We'll just wait for the workers to come in, and we'll work that out pretty quick.
Predators
Oh
are
no,
loose
there
in
is
the
an
nest.
adult. Right.
The larvae
Okay.
must be protected.
Good luck, us.
The ants have stumbled into the path of a fully developed devil's coach horse beetle, and it's hungry for breakfast. The beetle is almost 4 times the size of a black ant, and protected by thick plates of external armor. Whilst it bites at the tiny defenders, it sprays foul-smelling secretions from the end of its raised abdomen, disorientating the ants. The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood.
Some emergency RTS stuff going on here. Yep, got to have a 5 brain here, guys. Forgive me for not speaking for a sec. Yeah, we had an emergency. Yeah, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The devil's coach horse is dead. Its corpse will provide food to support dozens of...
Yeah, you do lose food when you delete tiles. That was definitely an emergency panic response. It was the only way I could get food to spawn replacements for the ants that the beetle killed. So yeah, you do absolutely lose money that way, money as it were, food. But I would have died if I didn't do that. It's a tactic that anyone who played Command & Conquer back in the day will be familiar with, or Red Alert specifically is the one that me and John played a lot when we were young. You sell stuff as a last-ditch effort. Sometimes it works. And now we can go and collect all that food and get our economy back up to speed. Okay. Go out. Right, guys. Tesla, the official Slug Disco dog, would like to go out to use the toilet. So I'm just going to pause the stream for a second, and we'll I'll be back in just a minute or two. Okay. Hello. The toilet, the nearest tree or grass. Well, it was just our small back garden, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit grandiose calling a small part of poured concrete a toilet. Yes, but Tesla has done his ablutions. It's time to continue. Milky David, so did he just call Tesla an aphid? Come here, friend. Come. Let's make him up. Here's Tesla. He's a rescue whippet. Or a rescue aphid. And he's a very good boy. Some do poop? Here you go. Come on, Tess. He puts up with me. He's very good. He'll get a nice long WALK later. I can't say the word because he'll go crazy. Okay, right, back to it. Okay, yeah, food store's full. That's a good thing. That means we can put a few more of these down. I'm a little shy to go below 100 food for recatching purposes, so we'll keep it around there, I guess. Couple more level 3s will help us out. We don't have to have all the ants at level 3 though. You can do that obviously, but it's kind of overkill. I think I want to leave it about there actually, because there are more big boys coming up.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
Right. So we let this first wave deal with what they can, and then we have the... Yeah, they'll kill quite a lot of the smaller larvae. And yes, then we regroup in a larger arena where we can surround on things, like here. And yeah, things die much quicker when there's more ants that can get to them, obviously. That's what makes this the Devil's Coach Horse so dangerous in this level, is narrow corridors. You'll notice that they're not so... Even the big ones, the adults, are not so much of a problem in the 2-1 and 2-2 levels, because they're mainly out in the open. Leechish, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you for that. No micromanagement with combat toggle. No, I'm not that kind of a player, Hoff. Some people are. I like to keep my strategy games pretty casual, and that's kind of the point of Empires. We've constantly been asked. For your classic RTS things, you know, dragging your box around units to command them, or having multiple points on a path, all things which are possible in things like StarCraft 2, etc. But every time you add a layer of complication, you both make the game more complex and more difficult to understand, and easier for people on the top level, and I don't know if we really want to do too much of that. I mean, maybe we will in the future. I mean, even things like the having more ants at the end of a trail than on the trail is a concession, really. Like, you know, we realise that most players were finding it quite frustrating to have their ants constantly going back and forth, all of the ants going back and forth all the time. So more ants stay at the end of a trail than are on the trail for that purpose. But it is still a concession to what we, the kind of original idea was. But it's all a learning process. This is our first game. And we've had some criticism, some of it valid, that on occasion we might want to value our gimmick over fun, and again that concession is kind of a symptom of that. If the game isn't fun, then no one's going to play it. Thankfully, it turns out it is quite fun. We're still working on the balance between those two things, but. Okay. Normally I have a small task force that hides around the corner just to get food during the fights. Yes, very good idea for this level, particularly on insane difficulty. Yep, keep a secondary force out the way so they can get in to the back and get the beetle larvae that have died for food, etc. Yep, all very valid kind of micro tactics. Yep. Love the game. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Leechish. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Much appreciated. Usually it's John, the developer, who streams, but he's indisposed by dint of not being in a place where he can stream at the moment. He'll be back in a few short days or a week or so. But in the meantime, I'm going to fill that role. I'm the community manager, by the way. Okay, right. So we're going to use this as our arena, I think. It's a bit like Terraria in this case, what I'm doing, isn't it? Where when you come up with against a boss, you want to build an arena to deal with it in. So yeah, choosing my venue to fight on this level. Charge! That wasn't so bad, was it? I think we'll be okay now. We've got enough food. There you go. We've got enough food to respawn our entire army at least once. Might want to just upgrade one more to deal with the 2, I think it is, on this difficulty. It might be 3. Devil's Coach Horse. Automatic Twitch message, sorry for French. You never have to apologise for French, Raptor. In fact, it's one of the localizations. In fact, it's the next localization is French. Is it 3? Yeah,
Predators
I think
are
you're
loose in
right.
the nest.
No, it's 4.
The
It's 4.
larvae
We were
must
both
be
wrong.
protected.
There's 4 now. Oh, I've got my my sell button ready. It will be okay. It's that spray that just makes it so much more dangerous. But you see, now we're surrounding them. It's not so bad. Just let them group up. This is a little bit of micro. It's not much, but yeah, if you let the ants group up a little rather than just go, you know, one at a time towards their deaths. Yeah, we got this. We got this. We got this, boys and girls.
The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood. This Formica fusca colony has now established itself as a rising power in the Undergrowth. Soon their territory will need to expand above ground, where new challenges await. For the time being, however, the Queen is safe.
Right, so what's the smart choice here? Do we go for territory, food, or jelly? I think you all know the answer, don't you? You've played this game before. Food, says Hot Nerd. Food! Okay, we go for... No, it's of course it's royal jelly, guys. You want... There's perfectly valid reasons for choosing territory or food, but royal jelly is, yeah, the one to go for. So we'll be going for that one. I did not get any of the achievements there, John, for making them too difficult. Cheers for that.
How is the colony progressing?
The Queen is exhibiting interesting new behaviors. I believe the colony is beginning to adapt.
Right, so let's just do a little bit of housekeeping before we end the stream. Yeah, we finished 1-1 on hard difficulty. Next stream that I do in a few days' time, I'll do 1-2 on hard difficulty again. I don't really want to play on insane and just end up throwing my keyboard, you know, out the window. Only got 2 left to get. I'm assuming those 2 are I can eat 50 eggs and appetite sated. Those are the 2 most difficult achievements. Okay, right. We have precisely 75 royal jelly, so we can unlock the black ant. Yeah, Formica fusca. The original species, by the way, for black ants that we had in the game was Lasius niger, which is a much more common in Europe, at least where we are, a much more common small black ant, but they're very small. Kind of a fire ant small. So we went with Formica fusca instead because they're simply bigger and they're more comparable to the wood ant size. But we are now going back in scale for fire ants, which is going to be the next update. And fire ants are small, and in fact their level 3 ability will be spawning 2 ants from 1 tile. That's going to be their thing. Okay, let's just open up this area. Jelly comes over while food and tiles are taken away. I wonder what the colour of the colony if you choose a blue colony. Yeah, Lasius niger is probably a little bigger than fire ants. Fire ants are tiny. The fire ant soldiers are, in fact, smaller by a shade than the leafcutter minims, which are currently the smallest ants in the game. Yep. Well, varmint. Yeah, the thing about mages with fire ants. It's kind of a controversial subject, we found when we were looking into the kind of scientific literature and the papers that have been published. Because Liam, one of the developers and kind of our lead guy as far as science and research goes, he's read a lot into fire ants, and there's quite a lot of debate amongst myomycologists or entomologists about the existence of polymorphism or supermajors in fire ants. As in, there's no distinct caste roles. Like, for instance, leafcutters have very distinct castes, with the majors having the big heads that have the big muscles compared to the smaller ones, the minims that do the work in the nest. That's very clear, distinct genetic kind of traits there. But fire ants seem to just have a range of sizes of workers, and you might call some of them supermajors because they happen to be on the higher end of the scale, but there's not distinct kind of castes there. There's a range of sizes of them. So in light of that, we've decided to, for the fire ants, go with the approach of, similar to our Formica fusca and Formica rufa, we have soldiers and we have workers, quite simply. Well, that's not to say that the fire ants won't be interesting. They've got plenty of interesting things about them. For instance, fire ant bridges is something that Matt is currently working on. Being able to bridge at specific points to get to other parts of the map that should otherwise be inaccessible. And like I say, spawning more than one soldier from a tile at any point. And yes, something that's also been brought up is fire ants can have multiple queens. In nature, this is true, but it seems to be a genetic thing. They either have multiple queens or they don't. Like, some colonies will have multiple queens and some colonies will have the one queen. And it seems to be a genetic kind of, fluke or, best way to put it, really. So there's no reason specifically that we couldn't have multiple queens in the future, but for fire ants we're sticking with the one queen. We decided that our Solenopsis invicta does not have that genetic trait that allows multiple queens. We're sticking with the one queen for it. Yeah, I guess their role is basically everything, like cutting up insects. Yep, absolutely. Fire ants have a painful sting. They will be swarming units. Okay, let's just make a few soldiers before we end the stream. Will some smaller creatures be climbable only to fire ants, like, for example, medium tiger beetles? I don't think so, Hoff. I think we're kind of doing a blanket thing on that. Like, anything of size large tiger beetle and above will be climbable by all the ants. So it's going to be a retroactive mechanic. It will go back to all the ants. Soldier, so he's not going for the vanilla achievement. No, I'm not. I am not.
The raptor workers have raised their first Formica fusca ant.
Finally, we have the opportunity to observe multiple species within the same colony.
Yep, that's for you guys to do. No fire ants climbing leafcutter major ants. I don't know, but I don't think so. Yeah, you have to think in terms of kind of game design as well. I don't think any ants will ever be climbable. It really complicates things when you're talking about like free play and saving. So any climbable creature causes an issue there anyway. But if you've got 30 odd leaf cutters that are being climbed on as well. Again, this is all up for debate, and I'm not the game designer. That's John and the guys. So it could happen, but at the moment I do not think any ants are planned to be climbable. Not all the queens are accepted, and usually it's common for queens to group up during founding. Yeah. Sometimes you can introduce new queens, yeah. I've watched quite a lot of videos of beekeeping, trying to introduce new queens to a beehive, and bees obviously are genetically very similar to ants. They're all part of the same kind of group. Sometimes they will just accept a queen. Other times they will immediately try to kill her. It's not really predictable. The Ultimate Handbook of Ant Keeping. You know what? I bought 18 months ago or so. I bought a bunch of test tubes, hoping to catch a Lasius niger queen, but it just didn't happen. I'd seen loads of them the previous few months, so I thought I'm gonna try and capture them because they're an easy colony to keep and look after. But it just didn't happen. I've still got them all in a drawer somewhere, I think. Yeah, wasps genetically also very closely related to ants. Yep, absolutely. All part of that same family. Wasp, bees and ants. Okay. Hey, this second part of the stream was fairly stable, wasn't it? To be honest, it was probably me just messing with my phone that caused the outage in the first half. Yeah, because I'm sharing the 4G through a USB cable. But thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for coming in, talking in chat. And I'll probably be back in. What day is it now? It's Sunday, isn't it? I'll probably be back maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see how we do. If John hasn't come back, so he can take over at that point. Obviously, that's his gig. Yeah, thank you. And we'll do 1-2 subjugation next time. Probably sticking with hard difficulty, and then maybe we might try the challenge modes after that. So thank you for joining, everyone. We'll see you next time.